Hey everyone, it's Wowus. We're here with Heroes of the Storm, and I want to talk to you today about Lieutenant Morales and the two mistakes that I see new players make with Lieutenant Morales all the time. And we're just in the try mode now so that you can see what I'm talking about and I can kind of show you, again, the two biggest mistakes I see new Lieutenant Morales players make. I'm going to set my level to 20, and I'm going to show you quickly my build right now, and this is January 2019, so I like to do Life Support, Blast Shield, Prolonged Safeguard, Stim Drone usually, and then System Shock, Extended Care, and then your choice here is between the Improved Reactor or the Hyperactivity, and I'm going to use Hyperactivity in this situation. So, the first thing, I think Safeguard is pretty simple to use, right? So there's not a ton of strategy to that. Just try to put it on whoever's taking a lot of damage. The other skills, though, are really where I see players make a lot of mistakes. So you can see the healing beam here that Lieutenant Morales has. Now the first mistake that new players make is they leave it on all the time. The way that the healing beam works is that it utilizes every second 3 energy from your energy bar, and then when you turn it off by hitting D or self-casting Q again, it recharges at a rate of 6 energy per second, but there's a 2-second cooldown. So if you leave this heal on all the time, your energy never restores. And so really when you're playing Lieutenant Morales, your objective is, and should be, to keep your energy as high as possible all the time. And so what that means is that when you're throwing out a heal like this, as soon as the character heals up, you should turn it off immediately and let it start recharging. Now, if you get into a situation where you have to heal again, you certainly can, but you should leave it off until you need to heal. That's the first mistake I see players make, is they just leave it on all the time. You should be turning it on and off and microing it as much as possible, especially as a new player. Learn to turn it on and off, how quickly that comes back up. The higher your energy is when you get into a team fight, the better. Now the second mistake I see new players make is in regards to his grenade. His grenade, a lot of players in level 1 will utilize the quest, the clear quest, and so they literally will just throw it like this into groups of enemies and utilize it. Morales' grenade is actually a super effective tool, but it has to be utilized correctly. And there's only, well, I'd say there's 3 ways you can use it. One is kind of the simple escape, so when you have the character on someone, you can push them off. And so Morales can, you can use your E and detonate it immediately, right? And you can push somebody off you, basically, who's right on top of you, especially if you're in a situation like this where you're trying to retreat and Arthas maybe is here. You can push him off you, and you can see here Illidan is trying to retreat, right? You can quickly push him off you with an E like that. The second thing that you can do is use it as kind of an offensive weapon, and that means, you know, if Arthas gets too close to your towers, you can sometimes utilize the grenade and push him directly into where he doesn't want to be. And so a lot of times you'll see players do this and, you know, hit a character that's right here and push them forward into the tower's range. So that's the offensive weapon. The third thing you can do, which is a little bit more skilled, is split an enemy team. So if Arthas is here and his healer is a little bit further away, say the healer is back here, you can throw your grenade back here and push the healer away from him. What a lot of people make the mistake of doing is they just throw it into the middle of the group, and that's not always effective. If you have Arthas here, and maybe, you know, Illidan's on his team and he's next to him, you want to be careful about just pushing the two of them apart. It's not going to make that much of a difference in the team fight, especially if the rest of your team is standing right here. So just throwing a grenade like this does nothing, right? It had no actual effect. You want to really utilize your grenade when either you need to escape, or second, that you're using it as a strategic advantage to either push him into something or split him or any of the characters away from one another. And another time that this can be really effective is if he's in retreat like this, right? You can snipe him. Oh, and I missed him. But you can snipe him, a character that's running away. So that's another real use of that grenade, is if you see someone at a very, very low health level, you can throw that grenade at them and try to snipe them like this. And that can be very effective as well, just to finish off an enemy. So again, the 2 mistakes most players make. The first one, you've got to turn off your healing beam as much as possible. You really need to learn to micro it. And another quick tip about the healing beam is you can actually use it here, you can see, to push. So if your team is doing really well and you need to just push, you can literally sit on a minion with it and push it down a tower or something like that. And here's an escape, you know, whoop, pushed him the wrong way, but you get the point. You want to basically throw that grenade and try to get him out of your way, so that you can push back and start to heal again. So again, first mistake players make, leaving their hidden beam on all the time. Second mistake they make is haphazardly throwing their grenade and just pushing anybody they can around. Be very strategic about your grenade and practice that in games, right? Practice during team fights and try to split a group, try to push somebody in the wrong direction, try to push somebody into a tower, and that's what you should really focus on as a new Lieutenant Morales player. Lieutenant Morales is probably the best single unit healer in the game, so especially if it's like this where you have one character that you're trying to heal. She's somewhat effective at large group team fight healing, especially if you can really focus and switch very quickly. Where she's ineffective is she has a lot of limitations, right? So she's still not the most powerful healer in the game. She's not broken. She doesn't have a superb win rate. But especially as a starting player, if you're trying to get really good at a healer, I think Lieutenant Morales is a great healer to really practice on and learn kind of how to prioritize healing and really focus your healing on one character at a time. So if you like this, subscribe, comment, send me a message. I'd love to show you more Heroes of the Storm throughout the next couple of weeks, and we'll continue to do some tutorial videos like this. So this is Wallace. Please, again, feel free to subscribe. Thanks.